Hello everybody, it's Papa here. Y'all know I like to play golf. And I struggled for many years with my swing. That just goes with the game. But the thing that helped me was one of my friends introduced me to a swing that made me understand a lot more about golf and my body. Therefore, I want to share that with you, okay? It's very simple. No mathematics involved. Little geometry, but that's about it. Anyway, here we go. One of the things he talked about was when people get up there to the tee box, especially if you've never golfed before, you have this fear of, am I going to do this, or am I look stupid or whatever? Well, everybody looks stupid one time or another, and in golf, that's part of the game. Looking a little silly. So one of the things that you want to learn is, of course, your grip. I use the interlock grip. These are things you're going to have to look up because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about my grip, other than the fact that the muscles I use and the fingers I use is something you're going to learn about the grip, okay? I'm not going to tell you, hey, don't hold it like a birdie and all that stuff that you hear. What I'm going to talk about is straight up what muscles you use, okay? I don't know if all of you know, but I coached football for 20 some years, youth football. And one of the things that I always talked about was balance, and this is in every sport. Soccer, baseball, it doesn't make any difference. When you get up to the bat in baseball, you got to have that balance. Balance, okay? Same thing goes with golf. It's a very simple thing. The balance means that you spread your legs shoulder width. Each club, your legs are going to change. The width between your feet are going to change with your clubs, okay? So with the length of your clubs. So say I've got my 7-iron right now. Most of my irons, most of my stuff is, I put everything right in the middle of my stance, right here. Then I turn around and I figure, okay, now what? Now I'm going to look at how my grip's going to work and what muscles am I going to use. So I've got my balance. My balance is right here. I just crack my knees very slightly, not bend. I just crack my knees. Okay? Now, I arch my back and I make sure I'm straight. So let me start how I line up. I'll show you. I grip my club. My back is straight. My feet are together. My club is straight out. Okay? Then I come down to the ball, or behind the ball, about where the club is supposed to be for its length, and we'll get into that. Then I step into my stand. Then I step into it. I don't change anything. I don't adjust in there in the pocket. I don't do all this. By the time you step into that, you're already into your stance. Your hands aren't out here. Your hands are supposed to be, okay? My hands are in neutral right now. That's where my club is supposed to be. Right there, neutral. Neutral. See how that is? Everybody wonders, oh, well, how do I stand up to the ball? No. Just a perfect little walk up. Good posture. Walk up. I loosen my thumbs because I only use certain fingers. Step into my thing. Look at my ball. I'm ready to swing right now. That's my setup. We'll go over it again. The muscles I use, very important, and this is something I learned from this gentleman. The muscles that you're going to use are not all the muscles in your body. What? No. You're only going to use certain muscles. Not all the muscles. Just certain ones. The ones that are going to give you the proper balance in your swing. And I'll tell you why. When I grip with these three fingers, and this finger are just laying there, okay, on my grip, and the same with this hand. The fingers that don't have any pressure on are this one. Why is that? It's because the only muscles that I want to use are these muscles down here in my arm, my forearm. Okay? When you use your thumb and your finger, you bring these muscles in. When you bring these muscles in, your ball goes like this, or like that, depending on which muscle's stronger. If you're dominant right hand, you might pull it. Dominant left hand, you might pull it. You might push it. If you're dominant left hand, you might pull it. So those are the muscles that you want to use here. And when you use just these muscles, it also affects muscles in your shoulder and your back that you're going to use. Instead of the muscles that these are married to, in your back and everything, they stay silent. They stay kind of, I'm halfway there. And that's what they mean about holding your club like a birdie. No, it's certain fingers, certain muscles that you use. Okay? And the same thing goes for your back, your lower part of your body and your hips and your legs. Okay? So when you're standing into it, I have my grip, fingers are loose. I'm standing in my swing, okay? Everybody says, relax, okay? Well, the muscles, see, my fingers are, I'm holding my club with those little fingers. Not so much, I don't use the little finger too much either. Just kind of lightly, okay? My thumbs are loose, as you can see. The only muscles that I'm going to use now is the arch of my back and my ass. Okay, so I walk up and I just kind of, okay, I got you now. Okay, and then you go with your swing. So now you've learned the muscles that I use and the muscles in my back, my buttocks, my legs, my feet. Depending on what club you want to put more weight on one foot than the other. You know, there's tricks about that, but we're not going to get into that right now because you're just learning how to swing. You just don't want to go out there and look silly. So remember, here's what I do. I walk up behind the ball. The ball's right here on the tee. I grip my club all the way to the end. I use every length I have. I loosen my grip up and I aim. Okay, straight ahead. And I pick a spot. As you see, I have a little gray right there. right here. So this is my line. Okay, that's where I want to go. I get my grip, I look at my target, come down. As I'm coming down, I pick my line. I know where it's at. I'm standing close or near over the ball. I'm not way behind the ball. I'm right kind of over the ball, okay? Then I walk around. I'm using a 7-iron, so the ball's going to be in the middle of my stance. I take the club right here in the back, crack my knee just ever so slightly, walk into it, and settle right there. Don't move. Okay? Then you take your swing. And I might be able to do it, but I have some obstacles here. Maybe we should move them in case Papa wants to get carried away here. So let's see if I can do this. I set my club in. Stop. Stop now. I have a dog that gets a little silly. You all know him as Kane. Set my distance, crack my knee, step into it. I'm ready to go. Let's check something. Is Papa's arms in neutral? I'm talking about. Now, your backswing. When I go from here, the first thing I want to do is keep my head right on eyes on that target. Now you see where my club is? It's coming up to there. Coming down through to there. 3/4 swing. These pros that do this, and they twist their body all the way to here, come around, and they're hitting the ball at 90 miles an hour. Good for them. They can do it. Their bodies can do it. I can't. So I use a 3/4 swing. And I recommend that for everybody that's starting off, because as you get better at it, you'll find yourself lengthening that backswing and coming through the ball with more speed. So here we go. I'm set up. Now, did you see? My head really didn't move. But I came across it. That's why I slapped the other one, which is not good. See if we can do that again. I stood in that position for a long time. Let's try it one more time. Fingers, hands, muscles. What muscles am I going to use? I'm going to swing through my line to the target. Through my line to the target. First thing you want to do is learn how to hit it straight. Once you do that, then you can start fading it and curving it and all that. That was a little better. I just caught the tip of the tip, which was good. I'd like to slap it just a little harder. There you go. Now that was perfect because I came through and tried to go through my center line. That's the most important thing, going through to your center line. Now the backswing, I mean backswing, again, we're going to talk about where that club should go. I was taught by this gentleman that this club should go back. Pretend in baseball, you know how they have baseball, they have a catcher back here, right? Right here, hey, batter, 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 right? Well, that's where your club wants to go. It goes into the catcher's mitt. Tip of the ball is up. Into the catcher's mitt and through the ball. Just like that. And then hold it. Once you go through there, you pop up like a Pop-Tart. Pow! And let the ball go where it may. So my center line now is going to be right there. So when you swing through the target, you want to swing to the ball, or hit the ball through your target. You don't want to go over the top and have to make adjustments and come back around and hit it that direction. Or hit it that direction, which is hard for me to do. But and then hold it right to the target. There you go. So remember, you're going to go to this place where they hit the balls and all that, and you're hitting and missing and topping it and hitting it fat, and the ball's going every which way. But you're having a hell of a lot of fun. But if you want to hit it straight, simple tips. Okay? Watch this video again and again and again, and say, maybe Papa might have had something. Let's put it this way. It took about, in the last 5 years, maybe 5 to 8 strokes off my game. Maybe sometimes 10. So there you go, see? Let's try that again. One more time. What muscles am I going to use? I'm going to stand up to the ball. I'm going to stand up behind the ball. Like this. Good posture. Okay? I'm going to come around. I've got my swing line to the ball. And then I'm going to step into the ball to where I want this line. Hitting a driver, I want this line here. A longer club here. 7-iron here. And then so forth. Okay, to the shorter clubs. 7-iron, I have my line. I'm going to step into it one more time. Get the wiggles out, make sure my butt's out and my back is straight. Step into it. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. That felt so good. That was a good 7-iron. I barely tipped it, which means the ball was hit right here. That thing went a long ways with that this 7-iron for me is probably 150 yards. So now we're going to talk about the short game, which is not putting. It's about your wedges, okay? Your sand wedge, your lob wedge, and all so on and so forth. This is a 62 degrees. Full swing. I probably hit it I don't know, full hard as I can. Maybe 40 yards. 40 yards, I'd say. So that's about right, about 40. So this is something you just want to, you know, if you have to really just chip one. So if I really want to do a short swing or short hit with this, you shorten the back swing. Have this where it's supposed to be. If you're too far back, it puts too much loft on your wedge. Too far forward, it shortens the wedge, loft on the wedge. Oh, that was perfect. See, now, and that was a full swing. You have to full swing these, and that's something that they're afraid to do with their wedges because they think it's going to go too far. And really, it's not. So I wouldn't worry about that. Just give it a good full swing. Now, you're allowed to carry 14 clubs in your bag. I had exactly 14 with my putter. My lob wedge, and I use my lob wedge for a sand wedge, and it's probably about a 55 degree, little less loft. I hit it probably 65, and then I go to this is not really, well, I guess it's called I use this a lot, this club here. It's a utility wedge. It's a higher degree club, but it's a higher degree club. Lower degree club, but I can hit it further. I hit it around 100 yards, and I use it a lot for a little bump and run on the green, depending on how far I want it to go. If I want to bump and run, I'll go a little further. I go to different clubs. I've bump and ran with my hybrid over here. Then I go to my pitching wedges, the next club. The one thing about, say for instance, your pitching wedge, I'm hitting it probably 110, 120, depending on the conditions. One of the things people don't understand about your wedges is how much closer you have to stand to the ball to keep that neutral in your swing. See, that neutral in your swing is everything. If you're out here, then you're going to have to teach your body to do that. Where if you're in a neutral swing position, it takes a lot of that momentum and rigmaroling that you have to do with your body to hit the ball. And that's why people hit them high, they hit them low, they hit them left, right, and sometimes they don't even hit them. So here I am. I'm going to step into this one. I'm going to make sure this is closer to the back heel of my foot, right here. And then the catcher's mitt. Perfect. Full swing. Come here, Kane. Come on. Oh. And this is so that's your pitching wedge, okay? Then we go from the pitching wedge. Pitching wedge to a 9 iron. Okay, it's longer than the pitching wedge, and it has a little less degree of loft. Okay, 8, same thing, a little longer, a little less degree of loft. 7, my favorite club, a little more. So let's say my 9, so my pitching wedge, I hit, what did I say, 100 to 110? This one, 120 sometimes if I got the wind on my back. This one right here, the 9, I can hit it 120 to 130. 8 iron, 130 to 140. 7 iron, a solid 140 to 150. 5 iron, I have a 6 iron, but I don't keep it in my bag. I don't use it much. If I had a 6 iron in there, I'd probably hit it about, well, I don't hit that very well, so I'm not sure, probably 165. My 5 iron, same thing, 165, a good solid 165. So that's why I don't keep the 6 iron, because I hit it the same distance I hit my 5. And that's just called knowing your clubs, right? And this is a club that I think every man on earth and woman, every golfer on this planet should have. Some sort of a, we call a rescue club, a hybrid. Okay. This thing will get you through the rough. It'll get you out of the wind. It'll get you out of sand. It'll get you out of anything you want. You'll hit the ball 155 to 170 depending on the conditions. And that's this club. In fact, mine, I've had it balanced. All my clubs have been balanced. The shafts have been balanced, and the irons I use are Ping. Ping come that way. They're the best, but they're expensive. A set of irons probably right now, Pings, those clubs I have right now, if you were to buy them new, would probably cost you, I don't know, $1,500. I have 2 little weights right back here to help my swing through rough. And man, I love this. I love this one. Where'd my sock go? I dropped the sock? I did. Oh, here it is. The hybrid, to swing, it's a little longer club, so I try to swing it's longer, heavier, everything. But what I do with this club, just like anything else, I have my line. I step into it. Here's a couple tips. I was just thinking. Sorry about the pause. If I'm hitting off a tee and I don't want to ground my club when I hit the ball, because it slows the swing down, slows the distance. I mean, it just kind of messes with your swing. You don't want to set up with the ball touching the ground. If the ball's sitting on the ground, the ball's sitting here on the grass, then set up behind it on the grass. If it's sitting on a tee, set up behind the ball off the ground. Get it? Just a little tip. So this one, I'm going to step in, and it's not going to be as far or much in the middle. My swing, I'm going to be just a little bit further forward. My hands are in a neutral position. Catcher's mitt up to 3, and that was a bad swing. So let's try that again. That was ugly. Sorry guys, that was embarrassing. Try it again. Oh, got it out of that mud, I did. So there you go. The hybrid. Now we're getting into our woods, you know, our 3 wood, 5 wood. Some people use a 7 and 7 wood. They're different kinds. The hybrid kind of got rid of some of that stuff, but I use a 3 and a 5 and a 1. Big dog, we call it. So my favorite is the 3 wood, but I like my 5. I've made a lot of good shots with this club. It has a little bit more degree. It's the highest degree other than my hybrid. But of the 3 woods I use, it's got the highest loft, the highest degree. So when I hit the ball, it may not go as far as my 3 wood, but it may get up to where I want it to be. Three wood has a little bit smaller loft and gives you about another inch of swing. So it's going to hit further. My 5 wood, I hit it .180 to, realistically for me, 180 to maybe on a good day 190 with some pretty good loft. Okay, that's my 3 wood. My 5 wood. Same thing. Neutral hands. It's on the tee, so I don't want to adjust to it on the ground. I want to adjust to it on the tee. It's a longer club. It's probably 2 inches longer than my hybrid, or an inch maybe, I guess. Step into it. Oh, just tipped it. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Tipped the top of that. And here's my baby. Made a lot of believers out of this one. This one doesn't hit it as high, but it hits it further and straighter for me than my 5 wood. I can hit this one maybe up to 215, 225 on a good day. Same thing. You don't want to overpower it. You want to let this club and any of your clubs do their work without you doing that. All you're there for, you're just the machine doing this. That's all. Using certain muscles, blah, blah, blah. My head is going to be still. Watch. Ooh, I tipped it. And look where my head is. I'm still looking at that tee, actually. I'm not watching that. Once I get to that position, then I turn and watch it come down. Look in the area where you wanted it to go. If it went there, you did your job. If it didn't go there, you had to look too much. And when you turn out of it, that's called turning out of your swing. When you're here, you come down and you're going like this. That's dipping your shoulder, turning out of the swing. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I hear you down there. Now the big dog. Hardest club one of the hardest clubs in the bag to hit. And that's because people don't use this muscle. Okay? This club's going to do what it wants to do, no matter what, depending on how it's set up. They have so many adjustments on them. Okay? Mine's set up because I have a natural draw. It's +2 to try to get the ball straight instead of, okay? So I've got it adjusted for me. But don't think about that. Think about what you're going to do. You set up, same thing. Fingers interlocked. What fingers are you going to squeeze with? What fingers are you going to release with? Stick that butt out, straighten that back up. Look at that target. Get your center line. My center line is going to be this tee. I don't think I'll be able to swing this. But let's try that. That might work. Let's actually get it more centered to you guys, the camera here. All right. Back straight. I do this because it helps me come down with a good posture. Fingers are loose. Step into the target. This sucker, I want it right in line with this back, right in, actually right there. So right here, the ball is. That was topped just a little bit. But you get the idea. Good club. So the last but not least is the club when you play golf, and I'm going to touch about this, is the putter. The putter is going to give you 25, let's say 40%, 45% of your score is going to be done with this one, right here. Mistakes you make on the golf course can be fixed with this thing, or it can also hurt you. What most people do when they go to putt-putt golf and they don't know how to play golf and they don't know how to putt, there's one silly little thing. And this is what we're going to do. Papa Joe's going to show you the same thing. Grip your club the way you want it. I don't interface, I push. Okay? There's different grips. I look at my center line to the pin. I do the same thing. I walk up. I stand behind the ball. And I imagine my swing a couple times without hitting my ball. Okay? Step into it the same way. And then putt. But when you I don't care if the hole's right here, here, or clear down there. When you're done with your putt, you putt to the target and stop. Don't go. Don't push. And go like that. No. You freeze at the target. Freeze at the target. Because that's where your ball's going to go. If you do that, that's where your ball's going to go. If you don't do that, God help you. That's all I got to say about this one. It's all in a lot of practice. But that swing, using the proper muscles and the setup, takes a lot of confusion out of people who are just starting out, or just stepping up to the ball. They should listen to this video before they even go over there. Get practicing swing, practice that swing. Know where my body feels good when I'm in a neutral position. When I'm not in a neutral position, I don't feel right. And you'll know it on the golf course because you lose golf balls. Anyway, just thought I'd share this with you guys out there. And hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot. This is, what is today? Today's March 17th, 2022. So, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a nice, brisk afternoon. Thank you.